Okay. I would like to go to basketball. 1, 2, 1, 2, and una canzone senza non tenere. Una canzone senza non tenere. Hey, louder.
Across America, there are millions of students that participate in fine arts programs. They are all receiving myriad benefits from their engagement in these programs, but when budgets are tight, fine arts programs are the first to go. Are other programs, like math, sports, or science, really more important than the arts? With Trump's proposed cuts to national funding for the arts, this question has become pressing.
When determining how budget cuts will affect school functions, many argue that fine arts programs are less practical than things like math or science, and that if money is running out, the important programs need to be prioritized. This is based on the assumption that fine arts programs are just entertainment, something fun for students to do that will not significantly impact their education or their lives. Thus, some schools see art and music programs as too insignificant to be worth the money. While funding programs like math, science, and language arts is certainly important, there needs to be a balance of funding. Fine arts programs must not be eliminated in favor of supposedly more practical programs like math and science.
Well, every area in a school has its purpose. And sports and science and fill in the blank are all very important to having a well-rounded education. And high school should be something like a buffet. You're sampling different tastes and you're determining, you're making choices on what you might further study in college and where your career might lead you. But having said that, not one of those is more important than any of the others.
In the end, there's a balance, and our life has a balance. We're not all going to be bricklayers, and we're not all going to be scientists, and we're not all going to be rocket scientists or engineers or nurses. So if you're developing the whole person, I think you have to have all these programs.
The metaphysical concept of all that is about bringing the left and the right hemisphere of the brain in contact with each other, communicating. It builds neuron pathways so that we can think about what we're doing, think about the concepts, create those concepts, create new concepts, or alter these concepts with creative thought processes that the other side of the brain uses, and then we build back on to those processes and modify concepts through that creativity. So music, like all fine arts, bridges the gaps.
I think one of the things that is most important about music and being in band or choir is that it's a long-term activity and it works on delayed gratification. It's not just, let's just check it off and move on to the next. It's working for long periods of time and only gaining small increments of improvement, but enjoying the experience of that and not just looking to check off and complete. And I think that is a great skill that our students need, and there are very few activities or opportunities that give that to them, something that they can participate long term and get that delayed gratification of where they feel like they feel successful.
I struggled in school growing up. Reading was not my thing. I was pretty good in math, just couldn't find my place, and I always found a calm place in the art room, and it was always relaxing. I felt like I was bettering my life by building my understanding of myself and things around me and learning to draw, those things where I could have a better understanding, and just found it was like my personal sanctuary was the art room, and I just loved being in there.
everything that we do is part of a team. For us, we have like built-in pods, I guess. You know, we have our tenors, our sopranos, our altos, our basses, and so they automatically have not only themselves and whoever they might be standing by, but then they have that bigger section, and then that section is part of a bigger section, which is part of the bigger group. It's all built in there. You know, what we do can't be done alone.
Having that self-confidence, the ability to think on your feet, the ability to problem solve, to sort of change things as they happen, and that happens a lot in live theater. It's no movie. We don't stop the tape, rewind, and do multiple takes. It's one shot live in front of an audience, working without a net. And that's what life is. You're usually not working with a net.
Studies have shown that students in these programs have more self-confidence, work better with other people, are more creative, and have better leadership skills than students who do not engage in fine arts. On top of that, students in fine arts programs have been shown to do better on standardized testing and are more likely to get college degrees than other students.
How do you feel about drama, musical, and theater programs possibly being cut from the school curriculum?
That actually really sucks, and if that were to happen, I'd go on a big old rant about how the school system doesn't value arts or anything like that.
There have been multiple studies that have shown that musical programs are very important and they help with education, so I don't think they should be cut. They're just as important as any other class.
I might not be an artist myself, but my little sister is. So if she gets like art programs taken out of the curriculum, she's not going to be happy.
All right, ready? All right, how do you feel about art classes potentially being like taken out of the high school curriculum?
I think that art classes are a necessity in high school because it brings out creativity into people and it let people express themselves.
All right.